Hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Zagit Machaka, and thank you so much for tuning in. Doomsday, right? I love it too. I love it for myself. I got same play. I got same play. I got same play. Yo.
Well, it's bound to be a good conversation. Sagitm after all.
All right. Today I hope you guys are well. I hope you're having a good day. You've had a good day, and yeah, all the best. All the best. But yeah, I'm back with another one of Teacher Diaries. And bear with me, my dear, bear with me, journey with me. But especially today I'm quite excited about it because I'll be just sharing how things are in my classroom, could be good to just listen for the sake of it. It could be informative to some of you, could give you some tips and ideas, and even in whatever field or sphere you are working at, it could help. Yeah, let's do this. So in my classroom, right, like right, yeah. So I bring that along into my classroom. I bring my personality along into my classroom. So number one, I feel that it's very important that before you even step into a classroom, you are aware of the fact that you are human beings, and the people that you're dealing with are humans. I've noticed that we tend to just treat the learners as if they're robots. Like, okay, the next teacher comes, or let's keep it moving. So what I've really taking into account the kind of person that I am, also I've really taken into consideration the personalities and the fact that I've got people in front of me. These are human beings, and I'll treat them like human beings and not just expect. So there's some days where the class will seem quite tired and down. I'll speak about that even as I continue. And there's different things to be cognizant of, that it won't always be an amazing day, and even for the children, even for them too. But yeah, let me not get ahead of myself. Okay, let's start. My classroom, you are seen as an individual. I see my kids as individuals and not just learners, but individuals that are a part of my classroom. So I see them as human beings. I acknowledge that they have feelings. I don't let that control the environment, but I acknowledge that I'm working with human, and I desire and always work around making sure that they see that I see them. So whether today this one came with a new hairstyle, or this one came in looking a bit down, or all of those things, I pick up on those things, and I make a comment here and there, and I allow myself to relate with the learners as their personalities permit. So there's those shy ones where you can see that they just want to avoid any attention on them. So you find a way to work with them, and talking about this, but yeah, you find a way to work around the learners that you've got so that they all feel seen as individuals. Yeah, I think that's why it's such a big task to become a teacher, because you're opening up your heart to so many people at one time. Another thing that I really emphasize in my class is respect for self, respect for me as a teacher, and respect for each other. That's quite important. That can't be discussed otherwise. So you can't be making comments, or obviously they try, but I stand on that. Those are one of the things that I don't stand for, whether you are dissing someone or whatever else kids may try, but they need to feel respected by me, even in the comments that I make. And sometimes, and then where possible, I take even the time to say, you know what, I'm sorry, I wasn't really supposed to react like that. I think that was a bit too harsh. And it takes a lot of humility. Each time I'm just like, oh, why did I mess up? Because now if I messed up, I might just have to apologize. But it's me, it's what I've spoken of already, that if I'm allowing myself to see that I am human and they're humans, and I can relate to them on a human basis before even a learner-teacher basis. So some respect. So before the teaching and learning takes place, I'm very cognizant of the environment and the atmosphere that I'm working with. And how I do that, how I do that in my classroom is that I call it checking in on the weather. What's the weather like today? So how I go about that is that I ask the learners, what's the weather like? And this is from the beginning of the year. Okay, maybe when they've settled down later in the year, when they understand that, okay, this is how you behave in my class, and then I can be nice with them. Né? So how it works in my classroom is that I ask, okay, what's the weather like today? And the rules are that I don't ask any further questions. And the second rule is that you have to be very honest. So the weather chart is the extremely happy, very good is sunny. And then it moves all the way to snowy. So snowy is like, no, it's not happening. Both thunderstorm and all of that, that's when it's not happening. And this also, I feel like it creates a certain atmosphere in the classroom that we are aware of each other as humans, as people that are before we are robots. Because I really want to emphasize on that these are not robots. You're not a robot. So you come into the classroom, you come into the space with everything that's a part of you. Yes, most of the things you have to suppress because you're at work and you have to do what you gotta do. And the same with the kids, but that moment to just acknowledge where you are, and even for your peers, even the kids, even the atmosphere, man, like, right? We all, not that we tiptoe around it, but it grounds the learners, it grounds them to think, okay, this is where I'm at. And the fact that they're getting a platform and a space to just share a little bit, it's okay, this is where I am. Okay, back to how it works. So it doesn't even take time. I know the teachers were gonna, okay, and I've stopped doing it every day, but like once a week or so, just to gauge on where everyone is. So it goes quickly around the class. So, alala pana, Temba, okay, what's the weather looking like today? Snowy, ma'am. Next one. Okay. With time though, you realize that they're more willing to, and they desire to actually share. Like they could be like, ma'am, I'm snowy today. Oh, okay, I'm sorry about that. I hope things get better. I remember, the thing is, this is what's happening. Oh, okay, so you're willing to share. So then they get the opportunity to share. If they're not willing to share and they just say that they're snowy, I'm grateful to know that they're snowy on that day, and we leave it at that. Sometimes I keep it in mind, and then maybe later on the side, I'm like, okay, is your weather, are you doing better today? Are you still, so it gives me a good idea of where the learners are. And I really suggest and recommend it because I really think it really works. I feel like it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. And yeah, it's developed and inspired by yours truly. But anyway, asikula. So the reason why I like to do this is that it gives me an idea of the emotional space of the people that I'll be working with. Because sometimes you enter a class and you can see that man who tense, like they're not themselves today. So it gives me an idea of, okay, the people that I'm working with. So I can also even make an effort to be a bit maybe funny or what, So it gives me an idea of who I'm working with. Secondly, it helps the learner to reflect and be able to put words to their emotions, especially in the kids that we're working with in primary school. Many a times they just feel things and they never take the time to reflect or think about the fact that, okay, I'm actually mad at what happened in the morning, or I'm excited that this is going to happen. So it helps them to just be in touch with where they are emotionally and be aware and be able to put words to that. Thirdly, I'm able to keep tabs on the well-being of my kids in general. So I can be able to pick up with, okay, this one is always snowy or thunderstorm. That means it could be something that's happening, and then it's something on the side that I could be able to be like, oh, what do you want? Would you like to talk about it? Then they talk if they're willing. If not, okay, I just hope you get better and all of that. It's so beautiful to know that someone cares about how you're doing. I think genuinely cares. It's very beautiful. And now imagine that on a child, especially because we don't know their home environment. Maybe the parents don't even get a chance to ask them how they are or how their day was. So that's time that you spend, those 2 minutes through the class that you spend is very beautiful. And then they ask me how my weather is, and I'm just like, are you ready to hear that? Do you want to know? But yeah, I also answer honestly. I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Another way that I tend to look into the general well-being of the learner before I even start with my lessons, or even start talking about what happens in the lesson and all of that, is that I had implemented the thing of learners writing me letters. So this is for topics that they may be not comfortable talking about in front of the class, something that could be on their mind, or they just want to vent and let something out. And there's not much time to do that in class because we're there to learn. So I would let them that, okay, if you have something that you want to say, you just want to let something out, write a letter and I'll reply. I'll send it back to you. I'll reply when possible. But the replying has been quite tricky. But when I firstly implemented it, I was able to reply whenever possible. Just reply, even with that reply, a note and quickly in the class, I just slip it there and then that's it. You know, I'm really big on learners and kids feeling seen and being seen. I'm big on that. I'm big on that. So yeah. Magic. Going into the actual lessons, how I go about my lessons. I am one who, okay, you have to prepare for your lessons, and well, I won't go into all the preps and the preparations. I feel like I can still do better here and there, but what I do is that some topics are boring. Okay, let's be honest, not all of them will be as exciting, and sometimes if it's a not so fun topic that I'll be discussing, I try to switch things up in the classroom. This is I've been teaching for about 6 years, so these are things that I've worked around over the past 6 years. So one time what I did is that, okay, I saw that the lesson is just a bit boring. The content is boring. So I asked the learners to just all take their chairs and come and sit and huddle around me as I teach. And then I asked them that, okay, so I'll be here in the class, but it's as if I'm presenting something to you guys. You guys are adults now. Ne? You at an exhibition or something, and I'm here to try to impress you guys. Okay, so just take notes, listen in, and please, I'll be calling you guys sir and madam, because I'm really humbled, to be in front of you guys. Oh, did we not have fun? The way they became serious, and like, yes ma'am, okay ma'am. It changed everything, but the content that I was teaching was still the same boring stuff, but their mindset was changed. The fact that they were not sitting where they usually sit, the fact that there was an imaginary story that's playing out, changed the whole thing. I understood the work. Life went on. It was great. It was amazing. So I use my creativity in such things where I remember there was a time where I saw that the class was tired, especially when it's later on in the day, and I asked them that, okay, please sit on your tables. They were just like, ma'am, what's happening? They sat on the tables and I taught. Like those minor things that just are a bit different, get their minds a bit more willing to be active and to participate. Or even getting them to stretch. And this goes back to the first point, that it's you seeing that they're human beings. So it's not you expecting them to respond to you as robots, So I'd get to a class, or maybe if I've got like an hour, 30 minutes with them, that's 3 periods. When I can see that, okay, the battery is dying out, ask them, let's get up, let's stand up, let's touch the sky. Let's jump on the floor. Come on, stretch. Do some stretches, things to get them stimulated and ready to just come back, because these are human beings and they're children. So yeah, that's what I do in my classroom. I'm sure you're thinking, it's a nice classroom. Obviously, it's not always the case. It's not always the case, but I bring myself into it. I bring my personality into it. And some days are not so great. And what's tricky about being a teacher also is that when you enter the class already, you don't even have to be like this. They can pick up on the frown lines that today ma'am is not fine. and they you just have to be like, okay, let me get myself together, because these are kids also. You can't always be coming there being negative and being sad and all of that. And there's things that kids don't always have to be exposed to. We're adults for a reason, they're kids for a reason. There's things that we will understand, and then they don't need to be dealing with all of that. So yeah, that's the life of being a teacher in my classroom. I think the more I continue in the classroom, the more I realize that one of the things that I'm really passionate about is general well-being of the learner. But again, I've taught English, and I've been teaching mathematics, and it's been beautiful. I get to learn so much. Another thing we run away from is from kids asking questions that we do not know the answers to. Because you are acknowledging the fact that you're a human being, you'll say, hey, that's a very good question, my boy. What do you guys think? If there's no answer and you are like, I'll get back to you, my child. That's a very good question. I'll get back to you, because you are human and you're not a know-it-all, and that's okay. So yeah, that's it from me about the general atmosphere of my classroom, how things are in my class. And if you've got questions, I'll answer. But yeah, that's it for now on Teacher Diaries. I think we'll come back to it another time also. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope it was nice watching for you. And if you really did enjoy the video, please do share, especially to people who are still studying and working towards becoming teachers, or just for the sake of niceness. Okay, hope you guys are well. Take care and much love.